Hi everyone, this is Tammy and I am super excited about today's project. So this tutorial is going to be a waterfall card photo album. So this is what it is, and this is the back. And then you can pull this, well actually, okay, you open it and then you can pull this, and isn't that cool? I think it's just so neat. So you can place a photo here, and then here you can journal, or you can put another photo or whatever you'd like, and you just pull this little tab and then you can push it right back up. So it's very cool, and it looks a lot more complicated than it is. And I first learned about this, I've done waterfall cards before, which are very similar, but I hadn't ever thought of it being like this. I learned about it from May Made It, who learned about it from someone else. So it was pretty cool that she taught this, because I was super excited about it, and I hope that you guys will be too. So I just thought it was just adorable, and let's go ahead and get started. This is a great time to use your 6x6 paper pads if you have these, because it uses, each one of these will fit a paper, you know, like one of the 6x6. It's no bigger than that. So that's awesome. And this is a really cute set, and I'm using most of the papers from that kit, or from that paper pad. And then I chose to use some off-white for the journaling spots. You don't even have to put anything there. I know in May's directions, or her tutorial, she didn't have anything here. So you don't have to do anything there if you don't want to, but I thought it was really cute. And I used a stamp set to stamp on each one of those pages, and it was a Unity stamp set called Going Wild. So I just wanted to share that, and I thought it went great with this autumn paper. And I'm going to do another autumn album just because autumn is my favorite time of year, and a lot of my family and friends like autumn, and I think that this would be appreciated by them too. So let's go ahead and show you some more of what you will need. So you need the paper, and then you need 2 pieces of cardstock to make the actual card. So in this card I used this brown paper, craft paper, and it just takes 2 pieces of that to make this whole album. And then if you have 2 pieces of this is the vanilla, if you have 2 pieces of that, you've got the whole card. So all you need are 6x6 pages, 2 pages of this, 2 pages of this, and 1 small slither of 12-inch paper. So 1.5 inches by 12 inches is all you need for that. And I will put all of the cut sizes and score sizes in the description box below. I only grabbed one of these, so I'm going to grab a second. Shoot. So this one's going to be very similar, but it's going to be a little different with the different colors. And then for the front, I also stamped the little fox, and I colored him and put him on some background paper, and I'll have him as a little embellishment, just like I did with that one. So those are just ready to be used, and this is not quite ready, but it's almost ready. I'm just going to try to get things out of the way a little bit. So let's build the card first. So the first thing that you need to do is, I want my card base to measure 10.5 by 5.5. So first thing I'm going to do is cut 5.5 on the short side. And then this is going to be 10.5. So it's 11, so I'm just going to cut off 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to score it at 5 1/4, so right in the middle. And then you can see that this will fold right into itself, and it makes a little square. I'm going to use my bone folder and just crisp up that edge. So then the next piece that you need is going to be the tab, and you can use the leftover of this. This measures 3 inches and you want it to be 3 by 9 3/4. So this is 11. So you want it to be 11, 9 3/4, 10 3/4, 11. So you want to cut 1 1/4 inches off. And I'm going to write that down real quick so I won't forget to put that in the directions. So card base and the tab strip. 1 piece of 8.5 by 11 and cut at 5 1/4, no, 5 1/2, and then leftover cut down to 9 3/4, which means 1 1/4 inches. All right, so now I have the directions, hopefully, and you'll be able to see them down below. So what you're going to do with this tab is you're going to score it, and you want to score it at, I'm looking at my notes, 2 inches, and 2 3/4 inches, and 3 1/2 inches, and 4 1/4 inches. So they're all about 1/4 inch apart, and then you just, you know, it looks like that. And then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to round the corners of this side. So the long side, or I guess the part with no scoring, you want to round those 2 corners. Just like that. And then you're going to want to go ahead and fold these. So it looks like that. Zoop, zoop. Okay, and then I'm going to put it this way where it's, so it's on the not folded, or I guess, I don't know, on what seems to be the back side. It's really kind of the front side, but we want it to be this way. And this is what we're going to start with. But actually first I need to cut all of my pages. So take your second sheet of whatever your base color is, and we are going to cut this. Let's see, I want 5 by 5. I'm going to cut it this way. So the first one's going to be cut at 5 by 5. So that's the square, and I'm going to put it right here to the side. And then so this one is cut at 5, and I need it to be 5 and 2 3/4. So 5 by 2 3/4. So I'm taking the biggest piece and the smallest piece and cutting those out of the same half of paper. And this can be trash. And then your second half of the paper, you need to cut at 5. You want it to be 5 and 4 by 4 1/4. And then 5 by 3 1/2. So now what we're going to do is put these together from smallest to largest. And then these can all be thrown away. So then you take your tab, so the end that is not corner rounded, you're going to take your smallest piece, and you're going to need some glue. And I love this art glitter glue, which is actually available through May Made It. It's also available through artglitter.com, and it's available through Country Craft Creations. There's a few places that I've purchased it through, and it is my favorite glue to work with. It does not have glitter in it. The name of the company is actually Art Glitter, and I'm bragging about it and now I can't get it out, but it's great glue. It dries really quickly. It dries matte. It has this fine tip that you can purchase. It's an extra purchase, but you can just purchase one and then use it over and over and over again. So when I'm finished with this one, I can unscrew this cap and put it on my refill, which I have right here. And you can see I've even purchased a bigger one. I've had two of these. I've had a smaller one, and then I just decided to go for the gusto and get the 8-ounce one. Now I want to center this on this page, or on this where I've glued, on this last square, and I want it to be right underneath the score mark. And I'm just eyeballing it, just like that. And then what you're going to need to do is put glue on the second little rectangle that you've made. Whoops. And take the next largest, so you're just going to keep going up, and you want to put this even with this card, so with the bottom one, so it's totally even with it, and then it'll fit right on top, and it will be right underneath the score line. It fits perfectly. See how the bottoms match together? And then you're going to do the same thing with this next one. I match the bottoms together and the sides together, and then I can just stick it down. And one of the things that I think is great about glue on this is that if you need to move it a little bit, glue is a little more forgiving. You can't really do that with the tear and tape or whatever, but you could use that too if that's what you'd prefer. Then I'm putting glue on this one, and I'm going to put this one on top of that one. This is the final one, and I'm just making sure that it's even at the bottom and on the sides, and then we will just glue it down. So here is our basic waterfall, and see how the tab sticks out from the bottom right there? That's exactly what you want. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then I'm not going to put my glue away yet because I'm going to be using it some more. The next piece that you need is the belly band, and this is what I told you was the 12-inch piece. So it's 12 by 1.5 inches, and you need to score this at 3 1/4 inches from each side. So I'm just going to go in 3 1/4 inches on this side, and I'm going to score it. And then I'm going to go 3 1/4 inches on this side, and I'm going to score it. Now the reason that I am using this glittery paper is because this is what I had handy. I mean, I didn't have to like go search for 12 by 12 paper because I don't keep a lot of solid 12 by 12 paper. I have some, but because I don't scrapbook very much anymore, I don't have a lot. And so you can decide if you want, you know, if this is this sheet, I mean, do I want this side sticking up or do I want this side sticking up? And the only place you're going to see it is the very back of the card. It will go across here. But honestly, you could even cover this up, and I'm kind of debating on doing that with this one. I didn't do it with this one because I think that looks kind of cute, but I might do it with this one. And so you're going to see just the little bit. If I cover up the back, you're just going to see a tiny bit in the back and a tiny bit here in the front. So we can decide, or you can decide, how you want to do it. If you want, let me pull these down. See how it's just a little bit right there. If you want that to be white, or if you want it to be that pattern color, if you're using this kind of paper. I'm going to go with the pattern color just because I don't really care that much, but I like it. So this is where you take the base of the card. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to measure about 1 inch up. And this is where I want it to be, just about 1 inch up. And I'm going to take my little ruler and just make sure that it's about 1 inch. Look at that. Oh, this side's a little low. So there's 1 inch. And there's 1 inch. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to carefully lift this up, and I'm going to put glue on the back side of this. Oh, I just moved it. Sometimes it's hard to do it with one hand. Okay. So now it's glued to the back, and then I want to glue just these 2 tabs together. I don't want to glue it to this part of the card at all. That will totally mess up your waterfall mechanism, and it will not work. So do not glue it to the inside of the card at all. You're just going to glue the belly band together. So I'm just taking some glue, being very careful not to get it on the card itself, and I am just going to connect these 2 pieces together like that. Now you can see I got some glue on the side here. I'm just going to wipe that off with my hand. This will dry clear. It will dry matte. It is very nice. So just make sure you don't have any glue on this. See how this totally is free. You don't want any glue under here. But you do want glue on this side. So this is held on with glue, and it's held together with glue. And once you've done that, then you take this and you put it through so the tab goes underneath, and then you line up the cards with the bottom of this. So the tab is the only thing that's sticking out, and the cards are all lined up, and you want it centered. And then once you have that, you now adhere this belly band to this mechanism. So see, just like on this one, when the card is lifted up, I can stick my hand underneath the tab all the way through. You can see that's not at all stuck together, but this tab is stuck to the belly band. I think I just messed up, actually. I think this is what sticks to the belly band. I have just lied to you. Please don't do what I just said to do. Okay, take this off very carefully. I was like, wait, something isn't right. Okay, hold on. This is going to be stuck to the belly band. Let me just make sure that's right. Yes, that's right. Okay, whew. Sorry, guys. Scratch what I just told you. So let's start from here again. Sorry. Okay. Put this tab underneath your belly band. You want all of these to match up along the same line as the card base. So all of these are going to match up together, and the only thing that's going to stick out is the tab. and then open it up, flip your cards up, and then what you're going to want to do is put glue on this side of the belly band, and then close the card. Close the card, here we go. And just let that adhere. The very last piece is adhering to the belly band. Now you should be able to pull this out and pull it forward. And if you want to, at this point, you can add a little more glue. You just have to kind of push in here and see where you can put it so that the glue is stuck, so that you know that this card is stuck onto this belly band. And it's just this very last card that goes on, but you can put glue all the way out to here on the belly band itself. And I'm going to do that just especially since I screwed up. What do I always say? Crafting in real life. And there's a little bit of room right up here at the top. You want that because this could get a little bulky and you want to make sure that it closes, and it's just, you just want that. So now I can pull it freely. It's still not stuck all the way, but I'll get it there. I just need to hold it for a little longer. So next we're going to mat this, because really the card is done. I mean, it's super easy, surprisingly easy. And then next we're going to mat it, but before we mat it, I'm going to get a drink real quick because my throat is dry. So I will be right back, but you guys won't even miss me. And just like that, I'm back. So now we're going to cut all of the mats that we need. So I've already cut the vanilla mats, and I'm going to cut the pattern paper mats now. So you want to look at your papers and decide which one you want for the front. And these are double-sided, so I'm taking a peek at both sides. That one's kind of cute for the front. And you know I love this one too, but I think this one is a neater front. So I want this to be cut at 5 1/4 by 5. So let's see, if I did 5 1/4 here, hopefully you guys can see this. I don't know if you can or not. I'd be cutting off a lot of those flowers. If I did 5 1/4 here, that actually works. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut 5 1/4 here, and then I want it to be by 5. Is that right? Yes. So 5 would be here. And I'd cut off all of that banner, which I don't know if I want to do that. So let me just start off by cutting off just where the hole is. I don't know why they do that with cardstock, but there was a hole there. So, okay, so now if I have that there, and if I cut it by 5, I would be cutting off how much of these flowers? Most of it, and I don't want to do that either. So maybe let's cut off about here and see what that will give us if I look that way. And this is just some of it. You just need to play with it and see what you like. Yeah, see, I don't really like that either. I guess I can cut off to about here. What am I willing to give? And by 5, just making sure that's right. This is the 5 1/4 side. Okay, yes. So by 5, would be here. I don't know how much more of that I'd want to give, so I guess I'm going to do that. So there we go, 5 1/4 by 5. And then I want to take another piece, and this is going to be the biggest piece, so I'm going to use this one. I want this to be 4 3/4 squared. So it's going to be 4 3/4 this way, and 4 3/4 this way. So all of my pages I want to be 4 3/4 wide. So I know I can cut this at 4 3/4. Oops, that's the score. And then I want this to be 4. And this one will be 4 3/4, and I think I like this side better. So 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Now I actually have, this is 4 3/4. I just need 2 1/2 inches. I could cut this and use this piece for the inside, and I guess I'll do that. And then I still have, goodness, I actually still have 2 pieces. Oh no, one is for the tab. I think I might use this one for the tab, and this one I think I might use for the back. So I'm gonna cut this one the same size I did the front one, which is 5 1/4 by 5. So if I go 5 1/4 by 5, I can do this one for the back of it. And then the tab, I want this mat to be 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, and I want this flower on there, so I'm going to go 2 3/4, and then I need it to be 5 1/4, so 5 1/4. And then, so these are all your leftovers. You can do with them what you want. And then with this, you want to round 2 of the side of the edges of this. I guess you can decide which way you want the flowers to go, or whatever paper you're using. Okay, so now all we need to do is start, where is it? Here it is, is start putting all of this on. So you're gonna go ahead and start by opening it up and then pulling this all the way down. And then this is going to stick onto here with just a little border around it. So first thing first, we glue the puppy. Look how close those are in color. That's pretty cool. And then we're going to start with the smallest piece. So I have this one cut as the smallest. Yikes, I almost dropped it. And then I'm just going to center this in here. And then I'm going to take the smallest piece of vanilla . And that's going to go on the top. And then I'm going to push this in a little minute to the next level. And I'm going to do the same thing. Put the pattern piece on the bottom. But I'm going to put the vanilla piece on the top. Just center that in there and pull this up a little minute, and you'll do the same thing. And you guessed it, we just use the next size of the vanilla. And even if you choose not to journal on it, it's still just cute. And then you can fold this top part over, and then your top, or your largest pattern layer goes here. So you just put, hey babe, your glue on this. And then my largest piece of vanilla. Goes right here. And then you can close it up. And this is going to go right on top. Oh, that side's cute too. Oh, and there's a little hedgehog. Oh, darn it. I wouldn't have used that anyway, just because I like the other side better as far as what I'm using it for, but I do love that hedgehog, of course. So then this can go right on the front. And then I'm going to take my little fox. I'm just going to glue him right to the front too. Then I'm going to take, wanted to make sure I had it the right way, this last piece of pattern paper. And just put that right on here on the back. And you could write a note to the person that you were giving it to on here if you wanted to. To Katie, love Mama. Yeah, that stuff, and then there's some stuff on the porch.
Right there?
Yeah. Thanks, babe. My son's taking the trash out, sorry. So there we go. We're almost done. I have this stamp set that I actually purchased from May Made It, and I use it for my mini albums and such, but it has a stamp that says place photo here, and I think that comes in handy. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp this and put it right here on each one of these pattern papers so that the recipient will know that that's what this is supposed to be. I mean, they may not know what to do with it. And then if you wanted to do some more embellishments on the front, by all means you could. Let's see, what else do I have over here? I just have some more paper. I mean, you could even put another piece of pattern paper here if you wanted to. I mean, whatever you'd like to do. I think I'm just going to leave it like this because I think it's really stinking cute. I love it. So this is, again, a waterfall card photo album. It's just adorable. And it didn't take that long to make, and it's got a lot of pow. So I hope you guys try it, and thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next tutorial. Bye-bye.